Hi, I'm Luan Aiken with Tagawa Gardens here in Centennial, Colorado. A gorgeous, gorgeous day, and we are here late summer, early fall to put Miss Lena to work. Lena is one of our perennial gurus, aren't you?
I am.
Okay, and we are going to put her to work out here in this bright sunshine today. We're going to dig up some iris, dig up some daylilies, spread them out a little bit, divide them, and make sure that they put on a good show for next year. Ms. Lena, where do we start?
Well, you always need a shovel.
Go for it.
And dig that hole. I've pulled the mulch back from the area, and I'm just going to try to dig up as much as I can. And don't worry if you run into other rhizomes down there.
The roots of those iris.
You're just not going to be able to replant everything.
You're going to replant this whole thing?
Well, I don't. I tend to just, like this is down, I just cut some of these off.
Kind of old, they're not going to do any more good down the road.
And then I'm going to cut the roots back a little bit. Makes it easier to replant, and it'll put out new roots anyway.
So this rhizome doesn't need all these nice stringy roots?
I don't think so.
Okay.
It needs to just, cut them there. So
leaves stay in place, rhizome
no? Leaves don't stay in place.
Painful.
Yeah.
All right.
And the reason you do that more than anything else, if you have those long leaves up there and it's really windy, you're going to dislodge your rhizome.
So we've dug up our beautiful iris rhizomes. Lena's still hard at work. Miss Lena, what are you doing now?
Well, the soil was pretty good, so I'm really just adding a little bit of compost because it never hurts to amend that soil when you have a chance. We dug it up and dug up quite a big section of it.
What's wrong with the planting hole?
Well, if you have a heavy clay soil, Luan, you're going to end up making a little vase for that rhizome. And iris don't like to sit in water, and that's what's just going to happen with them. So I like to dig up the whole area since I've got the opportunity to do that. When you do plant your rhizome and you have your little fan, it's going to grow from the fan. So it's going to grow backwards like this. And so you want to look at your garden and see where you have the most space. Yep.
All right, iris, daylilies, two different plants, two different techniques.
Yes.
Dig them up, same techniques to start.
Yep. Dig up the whole root. When you want to go outside that little drip line. I would want to try to divide as little, or as many pieces as possible. So I would break apart little tiny clumps like this. Again, if you have a really big clump and there's lots of heavy clay soil there, it's hard for you to dig them up, to divide them. Run them under a hose and get rid of some of that soil.
So it's not going to be an individual unit like our iris rhizome was. This is more
not really, but for the average homeowner, it's more a clump. And if this was a really big clump, you could literally just take your shovel or a sharp knife, see how they just come apart, and then you would take this whole clump, cut off the tops of the foliage a little bit. There you go. Make that hole as hospitable as possible. So I've cleaned them up a little bit because when you replant things, you don't want all that excess foliage to suck the moisture out of that plant. You're really trying to focus on developing this lower area. So if you're replanting or transplanting, don't expect too much growth above the soil. It's all going to happen down the bottom there.
Dividing iris, dividing daylilies is so much easier than you might think, and it make a huge difference in next season's garden. The last but not the least step, Miss Lena, watering.
Water, we love to water. And by watering them in, you're settling all those air pockets. It's giving you an idea of whether you have to raise or lower the soil, or the plant, I should say. Adding a little mulch to that bed is going to make it
look good,
too.
Hold that moisture.
Well, it's going to hold the moisture, keep the roots from getting cooked by the sun, and just cleans everything up a little bit.
Come see us at Tagawa's in Centennial, Colorado. Ask for Ginger or Lena. Any of the people in our perennial department will be so happy to help walk you through a project just like this. At Tagawa's, we will be so pleased to help you be green and grow.